Hey there, welcome. Happy Monday, April 5th, 2021. My name is Les Solgrove. This is Simply Des Moines 15-minute market update, and hope you all had a nice Easter and a nice weekend. It was beautiful weather, so um, business is certainly poised this week to kind of start off really well here. Good weather. So, hey, welcome to the show. Let's jump right in. There's a lot to talk about this week, and I'm going to be pressing hard to keep it under 15 minutes. So let's jump right in here. On the main slide, you're seeing 1676. That's a record. Homes for sale. Median days on market, 7 days overall. That's a record. Months of inventory, 1. That's a record. Hey, you see a theme here? This week's show is all about records, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Let's just jump right in here and see what else we got going here. So the top story this week, like I said, it's full of records. Let's talk first of all about the all properties category. So when I talk about all properties, I'm talking about single family, condo townhome, resale or existing homes, and new construction. So if we lump all of those categories together, this is a section of records that we hit this week. Low number of homes for sale. Total overall, we had 1,676 homes for sale. A year ago, we had 3,470. And you're wondering, guys, what's the high? What was the most we ever had? Well, back in July of 2010, we had almost 6,000 homes on the market. So this gives you an idea, kind of the dire issue we have with our listing inventory at 1,676. Our median list price is also up, $299, a little over $299,000. A year ago, it was at $267,000. High pending sale count. We will talk about that today. 3,654 homes currently under contract. A year ago, we were at 2,513. This is a record, that 3,654. We just hit that last year, but just a few less than this. And so, but that happened back in June, which means that, we're hitting this new record all the way into, it was late March, early April. So we're poised to hit close to 4,000 this year on the sale pendings. The median pending list price, so the price of a home when it went into sale pending, is up over a year ago, and it's also a record, $269,900. A year ago, it was $230,000. So higher prices are being seen out there. Our days on market is plummeting. We're at 7 days overall. A year ago, we were at 34, and we're currently tied for our low months of inventory. We've hit this 2 or 3 times in the last 2 or 3 weeks. We're currently down to just 1 month of inventory, so 30 days of homes on the market, and if nothing new came on the market, we would run out. If you want to look at this now in the single family resale category, we'll kind of break it down. There's some records in each of these 4. So single family resale currently have 515 homes on the market. That's not condos, townhomes, not new construction. It's just your typical home out there that's existing home that's been on the market. 515 of them. A year ago, we had over 3 times that many at 1,850, and our days on market is down to just 5 days on the market, which a year ago at this time at 49. Condo townhome resale market, pretty similar. And again, 5 days on the market. A year ago, we had 18 days on the market at that category. Looking at new construction now, this is on the flip side, the single family resale and condo townhome were low numbers. New construction are high numbers. We have a high pending count. We have 1,104 homes currently under contract that are new construction single family homes, which a year ago we had 514. So, more than doubled that this year so far, year to date. And the condo townhomes, again, also 256 of those homes are under contract. A year ago we had 108. So, you would think that this would be all the records we could have, but no, there's more. We also hit our milestone this week, 3,000 homes under closed, and we did that in 91 days. So if you look off to the far right, the blue, the top line of the blue numbers, that's the number of days it has taken each year from 2009 to 2021 for us to hit 3,000 sales. So this year we did it in 91 days. A year ago we did it in 104. And I will tell you that I looked ahead, and it looks like it takes about 21 days because of the spring market for us to hit that 4,000 number after we hit 3,000. So another 21 days. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're going to do that in less than 21 days. So watch that number here. We'll kind of keep that going here. So it's time for the weekend review, and I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this particular graphic because I want to get into the meat of the program here today. But again, just to reiterate, new listings are still down. Price increases have been up again, mostly new construction. Price reductions are down just because there's not much out there to sell. There's no reason to do price reductions right now. Accepted offers are up, back on markets, not looking too bad at 16%. This is Easter weekend open house traffic. So we did kind of go back into a pretty deep deficit of open houses this weekend compared to a year ago. But because Easter doesn't fall on the same weekend every year, this is probably the last weekend we'll have any kind of disparity. Last weekend we were kind of comparing it to COVID, and it was a little bit closer. But moving forward here, now that Easter's out of the way, we should start to see some pretty good comparisons to COVID business. The weekly count of homes added to the market, which is kind of my seller watch report here. This is for weeks 1 through 12, which ended last week. And I just wanted to bring this graphic up. This is where this graphic will live now until we kind of get out of this market that we're in, this deep sellers market, waiting for the sellers to come onto the market. But this will give you an idea. This is week 13 through 24, and this is how this will proceed. What you can see here is the blue line is 2020 weekly listings, and we're pretty much right around that 300, 330 new listings each week for the next 12 weeks. And we're still behind. This past week, we only had 224. It was cold. It was rainy. It was, winter coat weather again. So maybe that was why. I don't know. But really, the only thing we have for holidays in the next 90 days is Memorial Day weekend. And that one really doesn't typically affect real estate because, it's just kind of the start of summertime and just never really affects it. But that'll come in here about week 20, and we'll see if we have any changes there. But I don't expect to see any. So this week's spotlight, we talked last week talking about the end of March recap and seeing what happened in the month of March. And I just got 2 or 3 slides here out of my month-end report, and they're kind of impressive. This one is the months of inventory by price range. And if you're familiar with this chart at all, this breaks down the month of inventory down by $100,000 price points until you get to above $1 million. And the yellow or the gold that you see there indicates that we're in a seller's market, which is in our marketplace is 0 to 4 months of inventory. And if we had some in an even market, we would be in that 4 to 6 months of inventory. And if we were in a buyer's market, we'd have some red bar charts in there. What you're seeing here is all yellow. I don't remember the last time we were ever in seller's market in every single category, and actually a deep seller's market, even that above $1 million price point, only having 2.5 months of inventory. So, the fact we don't have very many homes for sale is playing into this, but that's rather impressive. From what I can tell, I don't ever recall seeing every single category being in one color of the market, a seller's market only. So to kind of look at this year over year by that same price range theory here, this is homes for sale. The blue bar chart is 2021 and the red is 2020. And this just kind of shows you how deep a deficit we have for homes for sale. And under the $100,000 price point, 73 homes as of the end of the month were for sale compared to 234 a year ago. 250 in the 100 to 200 versus 709. And look at that, at $200,000 to $300,000 price point. 543 is all we had on the market overall. Now this is all homes. This is new construction, single family, condo townhome, resale, the whole market as a whole here. This is how this is broken down. So it's just really showing you where we really need more home inventory is under that 300,000 or under the $400,000 price point in our marketplace right now. And that's where we're really suffering. On the flip side, this is the homes under contract or the sale pendings by price range versus 2020. And, if you go between under 100 and then 100 to 200, what you see is that we're a little bit behind last year in the sale pendings. But frankly, that's only because we don't have any inventory down there. You can't put a home into pending if we don't have it on the market. Once you get above that $200,000 price point, all the way to the top of the market, you can see that we have more homes under contract than we did at the same time a year ago. 120 more homes in that $200,000 to $300,000 price point. Almost a third more in the $300,000 to $400,000 price point, and all the way up the line. One thing that's rather impressive is look at that above 1 million. There's 13 homes above $1 million currently under contract, where a year ago we only had one home. So mortgage interest rates are probably helping that. If there's, sometimes there's not financing when you get above that million, but it certainly has got to be helping that market up there. It wouldn't be a month-end report if we didn't talk a little bit about the inverted market, and I'm a little bit nervous about this. The orange line, the dark orange line, is our sale pending count, and as you see, it's rising. It's already above the dotted orange line from last year, which means we've hit that record. But look at the green solid line. That's our homes for sale inventory, and it's still tracking downward, while the sale pendings are actually tracking upward at a higher angle there. What's going to happen here at some point is, we're going to be to a point where if we don't get more homes for sale, I don't know how we're going to continue to see sale pendings, come on the market if we just don't have anything for sale. But this is just really a deep market, inverted market, and it's something that really has to start to coming back together before we're going to start to feel any relief from this extreme buyer's market. So we'll watch that as we move forward. So this last graphic here, this is metro inventory counts by price range, and it can look a little bit confusing at first, but if you look at that, you've got some gray boxes, and those are all with zeros. That means there are no homes for sale across the metro in those price ranges. And if you look down the $0 to $100,000 price point, there's probably less than 20 or 25 homes for sale total in the entire MLS under $100,000 price point. There are 2 communities in our marketplace as of March 31st that did have inventory in every price range, and that was Des Moines West, which is basically University Avenue South down to the Raccoon River, out west to West Des Moines, and then east to downtown area. That's the Des Moines West area. So if you think of South of Grand, Ingersoll area, they did have homes priced at least in every category. Not very much in each category, but they did have some. And then, of course, West Des Moines does have, I wouldn't say a decent number, but it's got 153 homes priced somewhere between 0 and over $1 million. But there is something in every price point. So one little community out there coming really had nothing to sell except for one home in the $600,000 to $700,000 price point. So coming is kind of its own little area out there. It's a small area, a lot of new construction, and I suspect this is probably a new build that's out there. So anyway, just kind of an interesting graphic. We'll just kind of watch this as we go each month. So, all right, next week, I was on a Facebook group and I saw a couple of agents on there start talking about, they're not too worried because their part of town doesn't wake up. It doesn't get active until the 1st of April or the middle of April or the 1st of May. And I'm trying to think if that's really an accurate statement or what that's all about. So I've kind of got an idea of how to do this search, and I'm going to just take it on for this next week. I'm going to try to figure out, are there different parts of the metro? So I'll try to focus this just on the metro. Are there different parts of the metro that do become active at different times. And I'll see if I can come up with some kind of a graphic representation of that. I might come back and say, I didn't find anything, and we'll talk about something else. But anyway, in the meantime, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and be sure and like my show if you find it useful and helpful. And also, when you subscribe, be sure and hit the bell so you can be notified each week when we have a new show here. So anyway, I appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you all again next week.